G'day YouTube, Warbles on a lot here. Lately I'm sure you've heard there's a whole bunch of National Party and Liberal Party politicians saying that the cure to Australia's drought is we got to dig dams, got to build dams, got to have more dams, because when there's no rain, having an empty hole in the ground means you haven't got a drought, right? Okay, now this particular hole in the ground, I paid to have it dug 29 years ago. And for 29 years I didn't do anything with it. And I figured 2.5 months ago there was probably 50,000 litres in it. And I figured there's probably 25 or 30,000 still in it. And I have, since I bought myself a second 6.5 horsepower firefighting pump, I have sucked 15.5 tonnes of water, 15,500 and something litres out of the dam. Took 3 hours and 54 minutes of engine run to do it. And now, today, I'm actually putting something back in with me firefighting pumps and tanks and hoses. Regardez, the silent pump. The silent pump has 480 metres of polypipe going up the hill. The silent pump has a ball valve, 25mm, connected to a length of 25mm blackberry spraying quality bushfire reel hose collected from the dump. And the suction hose is not doing any trade. But this little hose is putting about 100 litres a minute back into the dam. And that's mainly bore water, like 6,000 litres of bore water mixed with 300 litres of dam water, because I can't get the bottom 300 litres out of the prism walled tank. And up there at the top of the hill, I've got the firefighting pump running at about 1/4 to 1/3 throttle, just to speed the siphoning process. It's been running for 20 minutes. So down there, my depth gauge should be showing about 1 centimetre. And there we see it. We have the magic centimetre. Because at this level, a centimetre is 2 tonnes. Now, teleport. Well, that worked anyway. With the angle of the dangle, you couldn't really see it on the camera, but anyway, 20 centimetres in 30 minutes. Yeah, not too bad. Probably about, I don't know, 110 litres per minute, perhaps. Something like that. No, can't be, other way around. 80 or 90 litres per minute, perhaps. Let's herb it up a bit. By Joes, they're wonderful things, these teleporters, ain't they? Yeah, it's definitely got a lot more energy in it. The tide is coming in. There you go, now you've got something to track it with. So, if I had have ever used this dam in the intervening 29 years, I wouldn't have had 50 tonnes, maybe 60 tonnes in the dam. in August 2019, available for me to use 15 tonnes of it, basically, as firefighting practice, and to try and establish a little green oasis in the middle of a fuel bomb effect. And now I've got the chance, I'm stocking up the dam, because I only had 25 tonnes under the pump before today. Now I have to go back up there, not break my leg on the way, because otherwise the pump will run dry and destroy itself. Remember to pick up the ruler and to check the depthing of the gauge. Wrong end of the ruler. Go to the other one. Okay, got to go now. Okay, we've pulled about 3.5 tonnes out. And I might paddle my canoe for a little bit. Okay, well, I spun it and I can now see the bottom, which was not the case previously. You can see the silt and the dirt and the water from the dam coming past. The idea is to get all that back into the dam. And centrifugal force is the way to do it. There we go. Okay, I might move that over to this side and see if I can get a little bit more. And that's what the lead is good for. One vortex trying to form and make its way down. Just can't frame. Screen isn't working, been in the sun for too long. Got a crack in it, old camera phone. Without having a lead donut on the suction pipe, I don't see how else you can make the basket sit flat like that. Probably boring as batshit for anybody else, but it's fascinating to me. Those of you who doubt the fact that we're living on a spinning ball, is that centripetal force, or an artefact of the point that I was stirring the pond with a canoe paddle? Conservation of angular momentum, perhaps. If ever I'm doing this again, I will deliberately put a low point in the pad for the plastic to sort of mould itself into. So there'll be a sump in the buoy wall tank, and you'll be able to get the last couple of 100 litres out then. Because this leaves somewhere between 300 and 500 litres in the pool. That bloody lead donut's doing a fantastic job. It's a slightly deeper place to suck from. There we go. Undisturbed, it sucks down really, really low. Right, done. Hour and a quarter. Seems like a good job. So, switch that off. Switch the fuel off. Let that calm down. Whoop. one more thing. Look at that hose. It can't be good for the hose. Let that refill. And we'll let it do a little bit of siphoning. Close that off. Take that off. Open that. And we'll let the weight of the water in the transfer pipe drop the rest of the water down into the dam. And while that cools, I will lay this pipe out, which takes about 7 minutes. And now, before I start shifting the other pump, I have to come down here to this pump to check and see what a difference it makes. And the difference it makes is this. You can see that line in there under the water. I scratched that line in the mud where the water line was with a stick last time I took, or I was about to take, 1,500 litres out of it, 2,000 litres? 2,000 litres, I think. So, yeah, I've replaced the couple of thousand litres that I took sprinkler testing, and I filled it up on top of that and had a chat with my neighbour while I was doing this transfer. He walked up on me and surprised me, and he says, yeah, as long as we got these blue sky days, he's happy for me to pull 6,000 litres out of his tank per day just to try and flush the bore out, because effectively he's starting each day with 18,000 litres and his cows can only drink about 2,500. So anyway, purpose of this trip is of course to collect the delivery pipe. And those 3 rocks, I think I like those rocks, they did their job well. And of course, to retrieve the depth gauge and see how much water I put in. Yeah, not a bad effort. And now, I think I've got something like 36,000 litres under the pump that I can reach. So now, you guessed it, teleport. Right, put that there for a bit, leave that to sit for a bit, and go and hear the last of the 2 o'clock news.
Government are kept employed.
Well, paying homage to the ginger beer god. And then, cheers.
But now the protesters want the entire political elite to be swept away altogether.
To the weather, dry and sunny across the state today, just a chance of a shower around the Alps. Dangerous windfall are forecast for the state's ranges. Sydney fine for the rest of the day. Tomorrow much the same.
Dangerous winds. Not quite the best thing to be hearing on the news when one's son is out there lighting the backburn more or less on the Queensland border. However, look what the moo cows have found. A water trough. And they can have a drink. So, I better get my pump over there and refill my now empty firefighting tank before that prevailing wind makes a present to me of some kind of an ember attack. If that makes sense. And because it takes longer to do anything while you're videoing yourself, and because after 3 hours on this video the battery warning is now flashing on the screen, I'm going to say this video is at a 10. Warbles on a lot to YouTube. Ciao. Arr. Sugary liquid. Ugh. Cold. I needed that. Once again, ciao.